Duelist here. This is Duelist bringing you Chaos March action. Got a big battle. The red team wants revenge. Blue team blew them up pretty bad. It was a pretty close fight, but they won. We've got tons of pilots floating around right now. We are locking the server at 9v9 roughly today. We went down to AV8 due to some connection issues, and we've got Cuddles, Thunderbird, and not so much Enrique and Sten are a bit new to us. Thunderbird's been around for a few weeks. Sten is a friend of Thunderbird, so we welcome them. Enrique's a veteran coming back to us after a while. But they've got plenty of people to shore them up. Ivan, Invictus, and Kot are ridiculously outstanding good players. There's not a bad player out on the field right now, but those are your 3 keep them alive veterans, and maybe they can kill 4 people apiece. Opposing them are going to be the Wolverine's Rebirth. Wolverine's Rebirth are attacking the Tikhonov planet Genoa. So we're here on map 2. The attackers are up. Excuse me, defenders are up 1-0. There is Serpentis. And surprise, 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 he's flying. Probably the Donar Prime, maybe the Donar D, 900 meter range. Yep, BRPPC. They have very limited anti-air down there, but guess what? Tunnels. So they'll spread out a bit. I don't know why I'm hitting the Alt key. Habit. So anyway, hopefully you can hear me nice and clear over there, out there. I'm going to try not hitting the Alt key. We'll see what happens. Anyway, so Serpentis is going to be able to report their location. Obviously, he's going to be able to tell them where they're at, all that kind of stuff. And it's going to be hard for them to hit him back. He's only got 25 tons of armor, so it's not going to be impossible. They need to keep him at least 901 meters away, so his ERPPC weapon doesn't do anything. And also they have one more carrying asset. If they can find the enemy team and blast them on the ground, they'll be all set. The problem is, like I said, Serpentis is going to be able to track them the entire way up, and you can see just how far up he is. This is tunnels all the way through the spires for the most part. A couple of bases, plenty of places to hide versus the PPC. Invictus, the commander on the ground. Ivan acting as the backup commander. Silver has connection issues once we get up to this number of players on this server, so he's graciously playing the pubs a little bit. He might be watching the match. So thank you, Silver. Appreciate that. Hope we're going to get you in Raven in the next fight and have you do some outstanding scouting. Thank you for contributing to your team's victory in the first one. Did a hell of a job in that Solitaire G. So anyway, right now they're trying to spread out because mechs and tanks can only point up so far. The Ares firing off on your left is their primary anti-air. The second Ares off, excuse me, the Ares to the right is your primary anti-air. The Ares on the left is your secondary anti-air, but he only has a range up to 600 meters. They're spread out so that that even though they can't point up very far, they can still try to increase the angle so that they can go find something. They're going to have a hard time finding the red team, I'd imagine. Let's go take a look and see what they're up to over there on the red team. Yep. Okay, so yeah, they're parked out in, not the corner of the map, but corner of the center of the map. And looks like a massively long-range list here. Their job commander with Serpentis up top is probably Burner, I'd imagine. Marius will be joining us tomorrow. He's usually here on Sundays, sometimes here on Saturdays. He's usually their primary job commander. WR is mostly together today. They have their forces all together as usual. We have a good mixture of veteran pilots today, so we're more than able to keep WR together and then mix it out with the mercenary groups. I'm the only SJ guy here today so far. Excuse me, scratch that. Our glorious leader Vic Viper's here, spectating, watching, maybe recording some of the stuff. We're trying to keep the pubs alive today, so even though we can go in bigger battles, we're locking it, trying to keep some people over there in the public matches. This match, by the way, if you're watching this and you want to play, we are always open to people. The only requirement we have is that you have TeamSpeak. You can download it at teamspeak.com, teamspeak.com. It's a free download, and then point it to mwll.mwmaster.com, mwll.mwmaster.com. IvoryTower.com, and we'll throw you in a team. We're playing every Saturday and Sundays, the two teams. The red team can see the blue team can't see the red team. So they're going to take a lot of damage. That PPC is going to add up over time. They're trying to split their forces, keeping the AA assets behind, keeping the main group up here, and trying to get some shots off on Serpentis. Serpentis has been hit a few times, but not a terrible amount here as they back up now. If they keep heading in that direction, they will ram into Burner. They need to pull all together, though. They have this base that they are legally able to go into. The only two spots forbidden on a Chaos March map are the main spawn bases, i.e. where you start the matches. You can't go back into yours. You can technically go into the enemies. As you can see, they're going to utilize some air cover here. They're trying to set up a bit of... They're trying to find the enemy, right, so that that PPC thing doesn't hit them so hard. And also, as they take damage, they're going to go and do cover here, so a break from the Donar. The main thing for them is, as Enrique may have just discovered the enemy team, is that they have more carrying assets. And there is a rule. As the supervisor, if I see a team deliberately, say, powering off all the mechs in a corner of the map and waiting for time to run out, that's punishable. That changes the results of the map. But as long as they're trying to actively engage, as long as, you know, they're still out there trying to fire back or trying to find the enemy or whatever, as long as they're still in the battle, what they're doing right now, they could sit inside of this hangar and just wait for time to run out, and that would force the red team to move in and fire on them. At this point, if they could get the Donar down, that would be great, but I think that Invictus is just saying, screw it, it's a PPC, let's keep some of our anti-air units out there, fire back a little bit, but for the most part, we're done moving. We're done moving, and especially if they've already seen the red team, I think Invictus is saying, let's just hunker up. We've got a bunch of close-range, nasty stuff, and Burner, let's see if you come over here. So right now, like I said, basically, if nothing dies for either team, the blue team will automatically win if we run out of time. So right now they're doing an interesting job of splitting off their forces a bit, trying to find the enemy, keeping most of the stuff together. You see that they have the asset up on the ground, firing the PPC on the elevated mountain. So they'll be able to say, hey, there's a ground asset over there, and so we know where they're at now, or at least one of their assets. So now Invictus has the information. There's where they parked all their assets. And Invictus, one of the best drop commanders in this entire game, and he'll be able, and he has a microphone today, so he's dangerous for his opponents, especially more so than usual. And you see, Invictus might, if he knows where the other team is, he knows in the back of his head, like immediately, how long it would take his assets to get there. He was one of the developers of this game, and one of the things he worked on would enable him to know enemy weapons loadouts, enemy mechs, and how long it would take to travel, possibly. So he's probably already calculating, they're that far over there, this is how long it'll take us to get out there, and this is how damaged we are. And I really admire that about Invictus and Marius and Null and Silvercraft and a lot of our other drop commanders, Burner, that they're able to process this information, like Proxima and all these other really good pilots. Some of them are really good drop commanders as well, and I like to drop command from time to time. I mean, I'm busy doing everything with the event. I'm the supervisor, I'm the day-to-day guy that puts together the stuff for the event, so I'm always busy with something. When I do get a chance to play, I like putting together lists, I like putting together drop commanding, but I don't have that extra level to be able to fight and to be able to say, okay, we need to go here, because there's so much information to process right now, because you've got 8 people you're responsible for right now, and you've got to trust in them that the best of their abilities, that you tell them go left, go right, that they'll do that. But you got to think about the consequences ahead of time. You have to think about, well, this will be in range, but the enemy will be able to fire back in this, and if we move to the right, the enemy move to the left, and you have to be able to anticipate all these things, and all that's going on at the same time. You've got the enemy team shooting at you. and to be able to do all that, to have that strategic mind is just amazing. It's always a pleasure to sit back and have a chance to just sit back and watch these matches and see the interesting strategies and the different variables that have to get processed. And we've done, I believe, 600, 700 of these fights. But with this event, we've done probably near 1,000 by the time we add up the prior events. And it's still new. Every single battle is new and different. Like right now, they've got the ground forces surrounded, the two ground forces, but they're so spread out right now. And Burner's team is just waiting to whack them with all of their long-range firepower right now. So I don't know who's going to take this match. And that's what I love about the cast match. So Shooter and Invictus taking some firepower back up here. Let's try to get a good camera angle. Ivan taking a lot of damage here. He may be in trouble of going down. If so, that would be a huge loss for them, but they're slowly bringing all of their assets up to range here. So if Shooter can stay alive, Thunderbird and the rest of the assets will be able to slowly move up and take some of the firepower back. Invictus kind of sensing that they're getting pretty beat up here, so he's trying to tell his team to move into certain positions. They're trying to spread out and take away the Donar and also just spread the damage. Kot is dead. That is a pretty big loss, but that did enable Ivan to get up, and if he's not too damaged, he'll be able to shoot a few things over here. Thunderbird's going to come and try and join him. I've never seen one of these fights go on this particular part of the map before, so this will be interesting. They are now rushing full power after Ivan and Thunderbird, and Invictus and the rest of the team are busy. More and more and more, this is slowly anybody's fight, but you're starting to think that Burner's got the upper advantage right now because they've been able to split the team. That Donar's been able to do a lot of damage over time as they're now down 2 assets, and 3 of their assets are heavily damaged, and it'll be interesting to see who they're going to fight. The Atlas coming in is going to be a problem for them eventually here. Thunderbird down. Yep, red team's got this. We'll be tied up 1-1. It'll be interesting to see. They've still got the Morogu. They've still got Ivan. Ivan's a bit beat up, so if he can get some help over there, he'll try to come over to Invictus. But ultimately, Burner's strategy of being able to track the enemy movements with the Donar, being able to patiently stay with his team and make Invictus and his forces come to them, and just focusing fire. Ultimately, they were able to gun down or heavily damage 1 mech at a time, and that's why they're going to take this fight. Invictus's battle list was more close range, and I don't want to say the Donar won the fight for Burner, but I'm going to say it heavily contributed because they had to, as Invictus goes down, and now they're just going to clean up. But it is obvious to me that that because they had to pay, and they do get a kill, they get Gorgots, so that's good for them. And they'll continue to finish up. Ivan doing everything in his power, but even in a Daishi, or an Atlas or a demo, there's only so much one pilot can do against all that out there. And so Cuddles will try to finish this up, battle a few things, and we'll see how the blue team responds. Tied up 1-1. Thank you for watching the Chaos March Network. Very hell of an interesting battle. Back and process this. A lot going on in this fight. And, we'll see what happens. We're going to try out a different server for the next fight. See how it goes, and that'll give Burner a chance to be alive. And so we'll see. Anyway, Cuddles continues to fire. But there you go. There's your match. Blue team beat the crap out of the red team in the first fight. Red team returns the favor. So we'll see what happens in the upcoming fight, and maybe somebody goes in the air for the other team. So we'll see you next time on the Chaos March Network.